Peace and blessings. Welcome to the Healing Divination Podcast. I am your host, Fumilaye. Thank you for coming back. Thank you for sharing in this experience with me. Today, we will be paying homage to the unsung heroes of the spiritual awakening community. And those are the people who support you while you are going through your awakening. Whether you are the one who's awakening or witness to the awakening, this episode is for you. You can look at this from two different perspectives. Picture this for a moment. You're in love. You're with your spouse or boyfriend or girlfriend. You are celebrating inside. You have finally found the person who makes your heart beat funny. All the love songs on the radio make sense now. Every rom-com you see, you cry a little bit because you know what that feels like. And this whole definition of love is everything you wanted it to be. But then one day, this person that has entered your life and brought you so much fulfillment starts to change. It's very subtle at first. Maybe they are into things that you never thought of. Here's a person who used to drink beer on Sunday and watch football and cuss and swear, or this is a girl who was just, all about her business and getting her hair done and taking care of her kids and just living their lives, and just whatever version that is, you love that version, but now there's something changing. So maybe now, instead of watching football, he's watching YouTube videos about meditation. Or maybe this woman who always complained about dirtying up her house is starting to fill it with all these funny colored rocks. You got rocks all over the place, man, and you don't know why. You're coming in the house and smelling like incense and Palo Santo. They're saying weird things like you should take a bath, a herb bath. You don't understand what's happening. And while it might be a little annoying in the beginning, it's still harmless, right? What's the worst that can happen? But then one day, they want to go on a spiritual event in the area that they want to go check out. You walk around, you look at all the weirdos with their massage beds and their crystals and their tarots and their this type of energy, and drink this and eat this, and by the time you leave out of there, your head is spinning, but your spouse is elated, walking on cloud nine. Feels like she found her tribe or his tribe. But it's okay. You're cool with it, Then you get home and stuff starts to change even more. Now they got to go get a tarot reading before they make a decision. Or, strange people are coming to your house and everybody's sitting around doing yoga and meditating. At what point do you get scared? See, unfortunately, I don't know it from your perspective, because I was the one who was awakening. I was the one who was changing a little each day, digging myself deeper and deeper and deeper into this lifestyle. And my loving and incredible wife stood there looking at me because she remembers who I was. She remembers Stephen. So now we're in this whole new era where I'm coming home with a new idea of I'm going to go get certified in Reiki, become a Reiki master. I'm going to initiate into E5. All the while she's smiling and buying this gigantic Buddha statue, and I meditate like 10 times a day. She's still smiling. And I feel so grateful. And it makes me wonder, does everybody have that support system? because this road is hard enough by yourself. I mean, there's portions of it where you're going to need to be by yourself. But having someone to support you and cheer you along that journey is so key. So what do? I have something for both of you. I have something for the awakening. I have something for the watcher. And we'll start with the watcher first. And I would say to you, first of all, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. If whoever you are with and has not said thank you yet, tell me Fafumi Laye said thank you. Because this is not something you signed up for, and it needs to be recognized. And this goes for both sides. She didn't sign up for this. He didn't sign up for this. So there's a certain amount of care and give and take that needs to exist in this realm. Now, what does that look like? That looks like her being confident, and I'm going to say her because I'm going to use me and my wife as an example, but you know this can go either way. It's about her being confident in who she is, confident in how she knows I feel about her, to know that everything that I'm going through has absolutely nothing to do with it. Like as the watcher, you only have to step back and watch. You can't be personally invested. You can't put your own worries and fears on top of what is already happening. Because while it's just rocks and tarot readings now, while it's just sage and Palo Santo smoke now, there will come a time in this journey where doing our Thirsty Thursdays aren't so interesting anymore. Because now your partner doesn't feel like putting alcohol in their system. And you feel some kind of way because that's different. Or the things you used to cook and you used to prepare for dinner, they no longer have an interest in it because their body is telling them something different. It's teaching them how to eat. So to eat those carbs and sugars and the alcohol and all the other stuff starts to weigh too heavy on him. He can't do it no more. But that's weird to you. Maybe the people you used to hang out with together and go out on couples dates with or go to parties together, they no longer want to go to those anymore. And as I say this, I can see where it's hard not to take it personal because, again, you didn't sign up for that. This man was a certain way when you met him and you loved him this way. This woman was a certain way when you met her and now she's different. And you almost feel like, why do I have to adapt? Because it's not happening to you, but it's affecting you. So the awakening and remind you that while you are undergoing this transformation, please do not lose sight of the fact that the world does not revolve around you. You are simply awakening. The Buddha said, before you reach enlightenment, you go and you fetch water. After you become enlightened, you go and you fetch water. Which means that no matter what stage you are in your journey, you need to keep one foot in this world. And part of keeping one foot in this world is recognizing how your actions and how what you are going through is affecting the person that you love. And you have to find the common ground. That is your responsibility to try to shrink the gap without shrinking yourself. And it's an incredible game to try to balance and play, but to shrink the gap without shrinking yourself. And most times that involves a lot of compromise. So when you have those days where you don't want to go to a certain party or a certain place with your spouse, make sure that you communicate this stuff. Talk about how early you can leave. Talk about, you know, we can stay for this long, but you have to try to give. You have to try to meet in the middle. This is not one of those situations where, because I'm a big fan of being responsible for oneself and for standing in your power. I'm a huge fan of that, but this is not this is not a situation where it's about standing in your power. If you love this person, if this is your person, you dig what I'm saying? If it's a stranger, if it's a friend, if it's somebody who doesn't have a dog in your race, then yes, you can take a hard no. You can take that hard stance. You can be more protective of your energy. But when you are sharing your life with somebody whose only fault in the issue is that they are not awakening yet with you, you still owe to compromise. Which means, yes, you go to the party, but you have a limit. You don't want to eat certain foods. You can't turn her on to your favorite new dish and she's not willing to make it. You make your own food. But there are going to be days where you're going to want to eat her cooking. There's going to be days where you're going to want your ice cream. Enjoy those days. Have those days with her. Because if you're listening to your body, it's always going to be fluctuating. It could be broccoli and cauliflower rice today, and then tomorrow I absolutely have to have pizza. you know? And so on that have to have pizza day, I'm eating it with my favorite girl. These are the things, so these are the type of compromises that save relationships, and it doesn't make it so alien. And then another thing we have to do as awakening is understand that everything that is an important topic to you is not an important topic to everybody. This is why it's important to have a community of people that you can talk to. This is where having a spiritual life coach comes in, because those deep philosophical conversations that you want to explore, you now have a coach to explore that with. If you have nobody else in your circle who understands what you're talking about. You dig? So being sensitive to that, and it takes so many different forms. Like, she might come to you with something or tell you about a problem or issue she had her day, and you automatically want to go spiritual on her. And you want to get, depending on what level you are in your development, you may want to start, channeling answers and downloading and, getting overly philosophical with her. And that's not what she came for. Sometimes she just wants you to listen. So shut up and listen. Not everything is for you to fix. It's important that you remember how you got there, even though you're on this journey. It's important to understand that she fell in love with the fact that you made her laugh. So being spiritual doesn't mean that you can't be funny. As a matter of fact, in my experience, shit gets real funny when you're spiritual. There's a lot of funny things worth talking about when you start to see through those spiritual goggles at the world. Being romantic is important. That exchange of energy is important. So to deny the best parts of yourself to the person who is enduring something that they did not sign up for and witnessing it, and then a lot of times feeling helpless because they can't fix you. When you get to those days when you're in and out of the darkness, and when you're in the darkness and you can't move and everything just hurts, the world just hurts, your heart, your soul, there's a sadness in you, and this person is enduring that with you, supporting you through that. So I don't really know how to put it into words how important it is to have that structure, to have that person that even on those days when you feel like you need to be by yourself, to know that I can be by myself, but I know that I'm not by myself. Because there are days during my spiritual awakening where I felt like everybody in the world abandoned me. Even God abandoned me. And my wife would walk into a room and touch my face or kiss me or brush up against me, and it reminds me that I am not by myself. And because I'm not by myself, I can walk this journey with my head up. And if we are sitting on the living room watching a movie and I just start crying for no reason, we're watching a comedy and I'm crying, I don't have to make excuses because she knows that I'm going through that energy, purging. And there's no judgment, it's just love. I mean, my wife has a smart ass mouth, so she may take her shots, you know, but it's all in love. It just makes me laugh, then it pulls me out even quicker. This journey, again, it's a lonely journey. I've said it before and I'll say it again. It's one of the loneliest journeys you could ever undertake. Don't make it lonelier by alienating your your people who are with you, the people who love you. And people love them unconditionally. Understand. This is why in my coaching, if I'm working with you and you're married, we got to get your spouse at least one session, right? It's free. It's one session, because as you start to understand yourself and start to evolve into who you're meant to be, they're going to need support in watching that transformation. And I think as a coach, if you're helping someone, you have to help the whole person. And the whole person sometimes involves the people that are around them. And that goes for more than just spiritual awakening. That is just whether you're trying to find your purpose, whether you are trying to break some old habits, whether you are dealing with issues of guilt or fear, or you're assassinating your own character, whatever it is that has brought you to a coach. The coach should be ready and willing to support the people that are around you, because they're getting the brunt of it. So if you're working with me for 3 months, 2 sessions in there needs to belong to whoever's closest to you, right? It makes sense to me, because if all I'm doing is working on you and you got somebody who's there and they don't understand what's going on with you, and you're not in a position to explain it because you're still in the middle of it, it's good to have somebody that can help balance that energy and help hold your shit together for you. You know? So to summarize this all, the spiritual journey is the most difficult but most rewarding journey you will ever take, especially when you reach the realization that it's the only journey worth taking. It's the journey to find yourself, to know who you are. But along that journey, there are people in our lives that have come to help us along in that journey. And we have to be very careful that, because we are the one who's enduring the pain and the energy and the sadness and the self-doubt, and we're feeling all this stuff, we have to be very careful that we do not let that spill and soil the cloth of the people who are there for you. And to the people who are supporting the awakening, I say, God bless you, and understand this. That awakening that you are witnessing is your awakening too. Because you can't stand in the sun and not get a tan. So if you standing next to somebody who is glowing, someone who is changing, it will eventually rub onto you and it will trigger your awakening. Because in this whole thing, you will start to ask yourself questions like, what about me? What is my purpose? Why am I here? And the moment you speak those words, you begin a domino effect. It won't be long before you are looking through the eyes of the awakened. And in the midst of it all, it is true love that will carry you both through it. And when I say true love, I mean that unconditional love, that death do us part love, that I know in my body that this person is my person love. Not that he does this for me, she does this for me, she got this, he got this, not that. That shit's not love. This person who is laying in the fetal position, sad for no reason, I love them. And again, I thank you. And I hope that this message reaches the awakening and the watchers, and that your house be strong and blessed and filled with love, and that as you grow, because remember, the awakening process is not a straight line. It is ups and downs. And when you're down, be down. When you're up, give that love, give that energy, give that high vibration to the people who were there while you were down. That's the ultimate thing right there. You're going to have your down days, but your up days, my up days are powerful. And so I make sure that I surround myself, whether it be just me and my wife or some friends or my kids or wherever I could get to when I'm up. I want to share that. So again, I thank you all. I pray for you peace and joy and happiness. Take care of each other and be safe. Peace.